Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Constanza, and today we are going to recap the first episode of Leyla, which is the adaptation of the famous Brazilian series Avenida Brasil. It did very well in its premiere episode. So far, most of the premieres were above 4 points in the rating, so it looks like it's going to be a good season. We start with a flashback. The main character, Leyla, was a child. She lost her mother and her father remarried a woman named Noor. The little girl, is strong and intelligent. She clearly takes after her mother because her father seems to have a few screws loose. The stepmother, who is the villain in this story, convinces her husband to sell the house. Noor's plan was for Mali, her lover, to steal the money from the sale of the house from Leila's father. But the plan goes wrong because Leyla overhears the conversation between Noor and Mali and warns her father. At first, it seems like he doesn't believe her, but in the end, we realize that he did believe her. He took precautions, and when the bag, which did not contain the money, was stolen, he knew it was Noor's doing. So he confronts her. He wanted to take her to the police for theft, but there is a struggle, and the father ends up being hit by a car and killed. Noor's initial plan was to leave him penniless, making him poor but still alive. However, when he discovers her, he tells her that she is a very evil woman, which seems hurt Noor's feelings. And before the good man passes away, she vows that she will make Leyla become someone as evil as she is. Noor justifies her action and her wickedness by pointing to the difficult childhood she endured. She was an orphan and had worked in a dump during her early years. Then she takes Leyla to that very dump and hands her over to a man who was responsible for forcing children to work. Noor's goal was for Leyla to suffer so much that she would become as evil as she is. Who was the driver of the car that killed Leyla's father? His name was Tufo, a famous football player. After hitting him, he fled the scene but called an ambulance for get help. When he finds out that the man has died, he approaches Noor to offer her help, without admitting his guilt. And Noor, quick on her feet and sharp as a tack, sees an opportunity to escape poverty and seizes it, ending up married to the famous football player. Back to Leyla. In the dump, she befriends Gino, a boy who is also an orphan. There was a woman named Guside there who acted as a benefactor for these children. She had become Gino's protector, and when he asks her to save Leyla, she tells him that she can't. She was very poor and didn't have that power. Many details are missing, and I suppose they will be clarified as the story progresses, but Guside leads Leyla to believe that Gino has died. Now we move to the present. Leyla has changed her name to Ela. She has become a chef but has not forgotten her past. Driven by thirst for revenge, he tries to establish a connection with Jiban, who is supposedly the adopted son of Nur and Tufo. Leyla aims to get closer to Nur through Jiban. But fate makes things easier for her because Nur happens to dine at the restaurant where Leyla works. Apparently, both Nur and her lover, Mali, believe that Leyla died when she was a child. But when Nur sees the chef named Ella, something about her reminds of her stepdaughter. She becomes curious and asks Mali to bring Ella to the mansion. That's when Leyla sees the back of Jivan, notices a scar, and realizes that he is Gino, her childhood friend. In other words, he hadn't died after all. And that's how the first episode ends. Before you go, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and make sure to hit the subscribe button down below.